We look at the BK Arena there on the left-hand side, and we've enjoyed being inside there during this couple of days of racing. Another South African rider starts, Pedri Kroos. Zach Marriage onto the climb. Pedri Kroos comes from Johannesburg. He's out on the course now. Zach Marriage sprinting up this climb. The time to beat at the top is 14 minutes 57.23. At the finish, it's Yakima Rold who still leads out of Lee Yu and Belianin of the neutral athletes team. Gadulovic leads all three splits. He's coming up towards the finish line now. Yakima Rold is second overall at two of the splits. Hector Alvarez is now making a bit of an advance out on the course. Zach Marriage continues with his advance on this particular course up the hill. 22.2 kilometers to go. He'll reach the split with 20.6 to go. The Argentinian rider, Mateo Caliman. Now, can he produce something here this afternoon? There's some people who say this is the rider. Pan American individual time trial champion, national time trial champion. Was disqualified from the Pan American Youth Games recently. Didn't finish the National Road Race Championships, but before that, 2 wins. This is Komatch coming to the finish now. His teammate is in the hot seat, Yakima Rold. Yakima Rold leads as his teammate finishes, and his time is going to be 9th fastest so far.
Right now, top 10, position 9 at the moment. And this to thank all.
Here is the rider who has been setting some incredible rides along this course. Gadulovic may well surprise this entire field. He is absolutely flying. This rider was not on the names of anyone's list, but somehow he has produced one of the most exceptional performances. His average speed at the third split, 49.2 kilometers an hour. This rider is going to blitz the time of Yakima Rold by what, 2 minutes by the looks of things. Mateusz Gadulovic, this is an exceptional performance this afternoon. This Polish rider is about to be in the hot seat, and it could be for a long, long time. Mateusz Gadulovic, what a ride by this 21-year-old Pole. Smashes the time into the hot seat. Gadulovic leads for how long? This could be a long, long time in the hot seat. That's incredible. His average speed, 46.941 kilometers an hour. This is going to be a ride that's going to be hard to beat. Paul Fiedska comes up to the second intermediate split. He's going to be nearly a minute down on Gadulovic. Just over a minute down by the looks of things. Paul Fiedska, second fastest time. This is Zach Marriage coming up to that intermediate split. We'll see how he's doing. Once he gets there, we'll be able to get an indication of how well this rider has ridden so far. We're only about 100 metres now from that split. You can see it just in front of him. And he'll go round the turn. Then for the first time in a while, he'll get some respite. The rider in front of him has just gone down the descent. Zach Marriage not on par with Gadulovic, but then nobody is. Zach Marriage comes up to the intermediate split now, goes through. 5th fastest time for Australia. The start of the next rider for Switzerland, Jan Huber. Jan Huber gets started. Mohamed Al Motawi, Asian champion, UAE champion, tucked in, head right down, as you can see. It's got a nice style. There's no doubt at some point one of these UAE riders is going to produce a World Championship medal performance. I have no doubt about it. The reason why is the setup they now have in the UAE. It is beyond comprehension just how much investment this country has made in world cycling and how much they are trying to develop a rider or riders who can compete at the very highest level. You go to facilities they've got in Abu Dhabi and you will be blown away. Al Motawi continues with this momentum. Let's see whether he has got the power up this climb, because that's where he will suffer. This rider at every split, and Zach Marriage looking for a little bit more speed. This is the next Rwandan rider, Samuel Nyankuru.
Reka twakire mu kanya gato rero umunyarwanda Niyonkuru Samuel uri busesekara aha ngaha nawe Niyonkuru Samuel.
Nyankuru comes to the end of this time trial. He'll have enjoyed the atmosphere, being cheered on by so many fans from Rwanda at the side of the roads. Nyankuru is almost there. Nyankuru finishes now 5th fastest. That is a great performance by Nyankuru.
Volkswagen turabashimira cyane, dushimira cyane kandi the official suppliers Sisaka, Bralirwa, Musure Fan Zone zose za Bralirwa, Musure Expo Zone za Bralirwa, mukomeze kunogerwa.
This is Hector Alvarez. Alvarez coming up to the 2nd intermediate split. He's gone through the 1st split with the 2nd fastest time. Hector Alvarez of Spain reaches this point with what is going to be now the 2nd fastest time. The Italian Borgo has gone through with the 3rd fastest time to that point. 58 seconds down, so it's Gadulovic, Alvarez, Borgo. Al Motawi, really low position on those side bars. No bar tape on them at all. So current situation at the first split, Gadulovic, Alvarez and now Walton of Canada in third place. At the second split, Gadulovic, Alvarez and Borgo of Italy. At the third split, it's Gadulovic, Marolt and Dyke of South Africa. Here's the finish. Gadulovic, Marolt and Lee Yu is still in third place, but I think things are about to start to shuffle around a little bit. Spectacular performance by this Rwandan rider. Niankuru, fifth fastest so far in this individual time trial. Out on the course now with Callum Thornley, the British rider from Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe Rookies. He's now moved for next season into the Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe World Tour team. He's the British champion, stage winner in the Sibiu Cycling Tour. He's just finished 12th in the Tour de l'Avenir as well. He won the individual time trial under-23. He finished 10th in the Giro Next Generation. He was third in the individual time trial on day number 1 in that Giro Next Generation. A lot is hoped for him this afternoon. This is another medal contender, Lorenzo Finn. Lorenzo Finn gets underway.
Represents Germany at this year's Nationals. They won the bronze medal.
This is the arrival of Joshua Dyke of South Africa.
Joshua Dyke from South Africa.
Joshua Dyke, let's see what the time is going to be. He's well outside the time of Gadulovic, but he has had a good intermediate split along the way. Joshua Dyke of South Africa searching for the finish line. It arrives now. Third fastest time. Great ride by Joshua Dyke.
Position 3 right now. Right behind Maron. Let's have a look on the top 5. In the lead, Mateusz Gajdolovic.
Callum Thornley, well, he's being chased by Lorenzo Finn, who's also a member of Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe Rookies, so they're on the same equipment. Gadulovic might be about to shock everybody, judging by the way that no one is getting anywhere close to his performance. Callum Thornley working well. Next rider to go will be the USA's Cole Kessler. Cole Kessler about to get started. He's got some good support here. Rides for the Lidl Trek Future Racing Team. Do you think that might be family? 22 years of age, national under-23 time trial champion. He just rode the Tour de l'Avenir as well. This is Almatawe. Well, he's not in the ballpark at the top of the climb, and I thought that's why he might suffer. 18th fastest to that point. He's not enjoying the first pit of this particular rise. Back here with our Australian rider. We've been following him all the time. Zach Marriage. At the moment, it's riders who we weren't expecting in the current medal situations. This is Simon Simon of Ukraine. 5th fastest time. Pushes a Rwandan down by 1 place.
I hope so. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone who showed up at the course today and cheered for us. It's really awesome as a rider to see so many people like it. There are,
The British rider Callum Thornley, big gear on that bike. keeping the momentum forward. There's a lot of hope in the British team that he can give them something this afternoon. But he needs to find some speed to match Gadulovic. His average speed at that third split, 49.2 kilobits. Callum Thornley, though, looks strong, doesn't he? Every pedal rev is very specific, the way he just keeps those pedals rolled over. Every bit of equipment is perfect, the number tucked in that pocket. Head just below the shoulders. Zach Marriage seems to be struggling a little bit now. Zach Marriage come out to the intermediate point 2. That was a nice shot of that intermediate split point 2. You're not really seen the sort of back view of that for a little while. It gives you an idea of just how tough this climb is. Zach Marriage is losing time. The time of Gadulovic is still standing. Is it going to go all afternoon? Zach Marriage at the split point, 6th fastest time for the Australian. The race can still be won on that final rise. This is the French rider, Decomble. This is Maxime Decomble of France. More smiles from him. There is a little bit of chat about whether this rider could be the rider to beat if he produces a big performance. Rides for Groupama, their continental team, but he will move to Groupama FDJ for next year. Second on a stage of Au Gran Camino, second on general classification in the Alpe d'Huez Tour, 5th in the Tour de l'Avenir. He's a very useful bike rider, 20 years of age, the Frenchman. Back with Callum Thornley. Only 4 more riders left to start. Thornley trying to keep the nose right down. Paul Fiedska comes up to the finish line. He's been setting some good times out on the course.
So we are ready for the next riders at the finish line.
Looks like this last rise has taken it out of him. Gadulovic still leads and will still lead after this performance. Paul Fiedska arrives at the finish.
Lawrence Duaro at the finish and right behind him from Germany, Paul Fiedska.
So Fiedska is nearly there.
Paul Fiedska aus Deutschland auf den letzten 150 Metern. No danger for the first time.
Paul Fiedska reaches the top of the climb.
Very good time for Paul Fiedska.
Let's see what the time is going to be for Paul Fiedska as he arrives at the finish. Fiedska, second fastest time.
1 minute 29 back. 1 Minute 29 zurück.
This is Jonas Walton coming up to the intermediate split 2. This is a good performance by Jonas Walton. So Jonas Walton reaches that point with what's going to be the second fastest time, the Canadian going well. We've got a new fastest time at the first split by one of the Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe rookies, Nate Pringle, the New Zealander, who's gone through there with the fastest time, 8.47 seconds faster than Gadulovic, 42.9 kilometers an hour. Nate Pringle from New Zealand going really well this afternoon. This is Matteo Kalaman. Alvarez at split number 1 is the third fastest. He's just gone through the third split with the second fastest time. Callum Thornley, well, some of his trade teammates are producing big rides. Nate Pringle, the fastest rider. Thornley, you can see through that skin suit, the body working, the lungs filling up. The work rate is high from the British rider. Every single pedal rev is power. Look at the way he stamps his way through the pedal stroke. Callum Thornley is nearly at this first split. Then we'll get an idea of whether Gadulovic, Pringle and others are going to be challenged by some of these later riders. Lake Kivu, beautiful and breathtaking scenery.
I would like to inform all UCI fans, if you are here, the fan zone, Banco KIGALI has got you covered, whether it's paying for a drink.
Alessandro Borgo of Italy,
just ask for
chasing the time of Gadulovic, not going to happen. Third fastest at the 26.6 kilometre split.
Provides run France, white dedicated USD withdrawal.
Borgo's ridden well up that last part of the climb. Alessandro Borgo of Italy. Timur Gadulovic will stand. He will stay in a hot seat this afternoon. But Borgo looking to put himself in the podium positions. Alessandro Borgo reaches the line now. Second fastest time. That's a good performance. Pushes Fitska down into third.
45 seconds behind Gadulovic.
Borgo akaba ari ku mwanya wa kabiri w'umutaliyani rero asigwaho amasegonda 45 n'umukinnyi wa mbere uciye ku ntebe ishyushye. Dufite undi uje amashyi twakira William.
A hard performance there. Borgo just needs to lie down.
Congratulations.
At the end of these terrible, really hard courses, your body just wants you to lie down. The arrival of Hector Alvarez, the Spanish rider, kicking his way up this final rise. He's chasing the time of Gadulovic. He's been there or thereabouts, 15 seconds outside at the split at 26.6. Alvarez is chasing the time of Gadulovic. He can see the gantry now and he starts to sprint. Has he got enough time in hand? It doesn't look like it. Gadulovic is starting to worry in the hot seat. Fingers crossed. Hector Alvarez, is he going to make it? He's almost there now. He's got this final turn. Nope, it goes red. And a big, deep breath by Gadulovic. Hector Alvarez reaches the finish line now. Looks like this is going to be the second fastest time for Spain.
Position, 11 seconds back.
Hector Alvarez, second fastest, 46.7 kilometers an hour.
Mateus and
Impressive performance by the Spaniards.
seats on the second place.
And now everyone knows why this seat is called hot seat. It's really hot just to sitting there and watch the competitors. And moments like
Here's the
that
situation
are
at the finish.
forever.
Gadulovic,
Just sitting
Alvarez
there,
and Borgo are the current medalists. Poland, Spain, Italy.
and wait.
Still a lot of riders out on the course though. 20 riders are still on the track. Here's the New Zealander who is setting some incredible times. Nate Pringle. Looking good. Just spinning his way along. But so far, he is the fastest rider on the course. Now head towards the 19-kilometre split, the second split of the day. He'll reach there in 2.4 kilometres. He's now on the climb. So we've just heard that at the first time split, Callum Thornley has gone through with the third fastest time. 10.15 seconds down on Nate Pringle. As we go back to the start of the final rider, Jakub Söderqvist, the favourite for this individual time trial this afternoon. The Swedish rider about to be the final rider to take to the starts. 60 riders have started. Söderqvist goes. Just before him was Hamish Mackenzie. Jonathan Verven was the Belgian rider who started third from last. Mateusz Schwarzbacher of Slovakia is also out on the course now. Nate Pringle is the fastest rider to the first split, 42.9 kilometres an hour. This New Zealander is looking really strong. Wasn't really held up as one of the favourites. We know that he's riding for that Red Bull squad. But so far, this rider is looking like he's on one of the best days of his cycling career so far. Nate Pringle of New Zealand, now and then just adjusting that helmet a little bit. Looking across, just trying to stay as aero as he possibly can. It looks like it's all momentum and cadence, doesn't it? That's how he seems to be just producing right now, this sort of performance. In the stealth black of New Zealand, always one of the favourite kits in these World Championships. Look at that momentum, look at every pedal stroke, the way he's kicking it over. Making short work of this course so far this afternoon. Nate Pringle continues. Well, the Canadian rider, Walton, has just gone through the 26.6 split with the fastest time so far, 49.234 kilometres an hour. So the Canadian Walton has just been accelerating all the way through this ride. He was 13 seconds behind at the 19-kilometre point. Now he has just overtaken Gadulevic's time by 0.16 of a second. Nate Pringle watching the riders on the other side of the course. He is in the climb and he is catching the rider in front of him, which would be the Argentinian rider, Matteo Kalaman, who many thought might be a bit of a surprise this afternoon. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, because Nate Pringle is going to catch him and go past. Just checking to see who that rider is, just up ahead, and it is the Argentinian rider. Nate Pringle is clearly just on the most magnificent performance of his career, and he's coming up towards this second intermediate split. We thought Gadulevic's ride might be the shock of the afternoon, but Nate Pringle may well be about to deliver another one. Just needs to keep that momentum going, not get carried away that a rider is in front of him. Just draw him in bit by bit. Not try and sprint to catch him. Just keep the pedaling going, keep that momentum, keep the cadence. He goes through now, the fastest time at the second split. 44.976. 12.79 seconds faster than Gadulevic. This is some performance by Nate Pringle. This is Lorenzo Finn, the rider who you may remember from last year's World Championships. In Zurich, he won the junior road race. He just rode away. Comes from Genoa in Italy. His mum's Italian, his dad is British. He looks great again this afternoon. He's gone through with the fourth fastest time at the first split. 15 seconds down from Pringle. 42.195 kilometres an hour. He rides for the same team as Nate Pringle, the Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe rookies. Head right down, trying to get as much speed as possible out of that bike. Nate Pringle chasing all the time the Argentinian rider in front of him. Pringle started as the 12th from last rider. .82 kilometres an hour for this young rider. Leans the bike in to that right-hand turn. Carrying a lot of speed. There are just days when the bike feels like it is part of you. Today is one of those days for this New Zealander. He's the national champion of New Zealand at Under-23. Won that on the 6th of February. This year he's ridden a lot of races. He won the youth classification in a Sibiu Tour. But this is the performance of his career so far. Lorenzo Finn comes round the turn. Sprints his way out. It's all going to be about the second split now, where we need to have a look and see how everyone's doing. This is Zach Marriage. Not being...
Yeah, here's coming. Here we go.
Zach Marriage coming up to the line now. Not too far behind him is Jonas Walton, the Canadian. Zach Marriage stops the clock now with the 6th fastest time.
6th position, 2 minutes 20 back.
Finally, Nate Pringle goes past the Argentinian, picks him up. The Argentinian rider will have to drop behind by 10 meters. These two racing each other down this descent. That's going to help Nate Pringle a little bit to go even quicker. Looks for the left-hand side of the road to go as quick as he can to the finish line. The speed is immense from this New Zealander. Well, at 10.6 kilometres, we just heard that the Maxime de Comble has gone through with the fastest time. Here's but Nate Pringle is yet to get there. He had 12.7 seconds but Nate Pringle is yet to get there. He had 12.7 seconds advance on Gadulovic at that second split. So there's still a lot of riding to come. Kaliman of Argentina refusing to drop back. He's coming back at Nate Pringle, and he really shouldn't go past. He will be told by the jury you need to drop back, and that's why you can hear the noises. Nate Pringle will get annoyed at this, and that's not going to help his cause. Only 4 more riders to reach that first split. And the Argentinian rider really shouldn't be riding like this, because Pringle might hit him. If he cuts across the road and doesn't realise he's there. Nate Pringle coming up to the 3rd intermediate split. He's going to go through there with what is going to be the fastest time of the day so far. Pringle goes through 49.8 kilometres an hour. He's got a bit of a passenger, which is not good news. Kaliman really needs to drop back. That is the rules, and he has to adhere to them. Pringle nearly 50k an hour to the 3rd split, 49.809 kilometres an hour. This is Hamish Mackenzie. Hamish Mackenzie, he was the bronze medalist in 2023 for Australia. He's back here for another go. Yet again, there's the jury, and they are telling him you need to drop back 10 meters. You're not allowed to slipstream the rider that's caught you, and if he doesn't drop away, he may well get disqualified. Lorenzo Finn coming up to the 2nd intermediate split. This rider, one of the youngest riders in the race. Lorenzo Finn is right on terms with his trade teammate Nate Pringle. They are so close in time. Lorenzo Finn now reaches the 2nd split. He's going to be a few seconds adrift. Finn goes through, 2nd fastest time, drops Gadulovic down into 3rd. Here's the Frenchman. Hamish Mackenzie coming up towards this first intermediate split. That's the situation on the right-hand side. De Comble, Pringle, Gudulovic, Thornley and Finn. So De Comble, Thornley and Finn were the three riders that we thought might be medal contenders. Pringle and Gudulovic have surprised everybody. Great day for New Zealand if Pringle can put himself into the hot seat. He's riding away now from the Argentinian. He's got more pace in the legs. Kellerman refused to accept that he would not be able to stay on the wheel. This is the final climb. There's the statistics. 11% gradient at the bottom. The average 6.3. You get a little bit of respite as you go up. This race is starting to move to its conclusion now. Nate Pringle has... Oh, that hurt. Nate Pringle on the climb. Maxime de Comble of France comes from La Ciotat. He's a great rider, 20 years of age, really talented. Fifth in the Tour de l'Avenir recently. That's the Tour of the future. You finish in the top 10 there and you are going to be potentially one of the top pro bike riders. Haven't seen anything of Söderqvist yet, or Hamish Mackenzie. We've seen quickly. But here is the Swedish rider, Jakob Söderqvist, the favourite for today's race. Last year he was the silver medalist behind Ivan Romeo. Whether the course suits him or not is a different matter. He rides for Lidl Trek's development team. He was only 32 seconds behind Romeo in the championship last year. Coming up to this first split, and he may well be showing us exactly why he's the favourite. Söderqvist is reaching the first split and he is going to be fastest by 23.9 seconds. That's an impressive ride. Confirmation of that first intermediate split. Söderqvist ahead of De Comble and Pringle. Then it's Gudulovic, Thornley and Finn. Those are the riders who are looking for the medals, I think, those top six at the moment. Söderqvist won a stage of the Tour of Denmark. He beat Alex Seegert into second, Mads Pedersen into third. Seegert, of course, was the silver medalist here twice in the Under-23 championship. He never won the gold medal. He was beaten by Lorenzo Milesi and Søren Berenskold. Söderqvist beat Mads Pedersen, Niklas Larsson, Johan Price Petersen, who's a former gold medalist in the Under-23 World Championships. Berenskold was also in sixth place, former gold medalist in the World Championship Under-23s. So it just shows you his potential. The arrival then of Pedri Kroos, the South African rider, reaching the conclusion of this time trial.
He's coming closer and closer to the finish line.
Pedri Kroos is nearly there. The South African rider reaches the conclusion of his time trial. He's just searching for the finish. Seventh fastest time, very respectable performance. Maxime de Comble, nice smooth pedalling style, out the saddle, doesn't want to do that too much. Here is Pringle, crunching his way towards the top of this climb. This is impressive. This rider has been the rider of the day so far. He's ridden flat out. Jonas Walton is watching him, sitting there in the hot seat. But it looks like Nate Pringle potentially is going to go into the hot seat now. He has ridden a superb race. flat out from the start. Still third fastest at the first split, fastest at the second split, fastest at the third split. And now Nate Pringle of New Zealand is going to put himself in with a shout of the medals this afternoon. Sprinting his way to the conclusion of what has been a very tough 31.2 kilometre time trial. The New Zealander gets some respite into the aero skis and drives his way for the finish line. Jonas Walton's time is going to be eclipsed. Nate Pringle of New Zealand is going to be the new fastest rider in this World Championship.
minutes, 28 seconds, 22 seconds faster than Bolton.
A little bit of pain, a little bit of a smile on the face almost. He knows that this is probably the best ride of his career so far. That's some performance. De Combla's just gone through with the second fastest time at the second split. Here he is. This is the replay. Maxime de Combla's just gone through, 5 seconds down on Nate Pringle. This rider is aiming for the medals this afternoon. Callum Thornley's just gone through the third split with the second fastest time. He looks to be accelerating now, 49.357 kilometres an hour, but Lorenzo Finn has just gone quicker, pushing Thornley down into third place at the third split. These medals are going to be very, very close. Jakob Söderqvist turns around that corner, heads now towards this next split point, which he's got about, 7 minutes to reach there. The first split is Söderqvist, de Combla and Pringle. Split, it's Pringle, de Combla, Finn. At the third split, it's Pringle, Finn, Thornley. And at the finish, it's Pringle, who is in the hot seat. There's confirmation at the finish. Right now, the medals are going to New Zealand, Canada and Poland, but there are some fast-moving bike riders out on the course this afternoon. Sweden are looking good with Söderqvist. France are looking good with de Combla. Italy are looking good with Finn. Britain are looking good with Thornley. There's some riders are making moves. .97 kilometres an hour right now for this rider, going downhill towards the finish. This is the Frenchman, Maxime de Combla, 10 kilometres to go, hitting nearly 100 kilometres an hour as he makes his way back towards Kigali. This is impressive. Carrying straight line speed, moving like a missile. The speed is incredible. He's just got to keep his bike straight. Keeps the head down a little bit at that sort of tempo. Wow. I don't know how he can't look ahead. Taking every single risk possible to stay as fast as he can. Söderqvist going uphill. De Combla just looking down at the speed and the pedals turning over. Well, he judges himself perfectly, doesn't he? Let's hope that his sports director tells him where this left-hander is. Jakob Söderqvist settling in, 40 kilometres an hour, keeping that momentum going, just churning that pedal over, nice and smooth. So we're waiting for the arrival now at the finish of Lorenzo Finn and Callum Thornley. Finn is looking good. This is the arrival of Huber.
And the road race, and now he is not
in the ballpark at all of Nate Pringle.
And Jan Huber
finishes with the seventh fastest time.
Right now, 7. Platz.
This is Verven. We haven't seen him at all. This is a good performance by the Belgian. Tucking himself in. Coming up to that second split now, and he's going to be close. But then the Belgian, 7th fastest time. This rider looks so smooth, doesn't he? He's the race favourite. It's so hard to deliver, though, when you're the race favourite. Everything has to go to plan. We saw in previous World Championships where Sagat was the favourite, and he didn't win in 23, and he didn't win in 22. He ended up with silver medals on both occasions. Brandon McNulty, such a great rider, finished bronze and silver. You look at the performance of Mikael Bjerg in this championship at under-23, and he won it 3 years running. Louis Ledat, he's going to arrive now, and then we get set for the riders who are going to go for the medals, because Ledat's 6th fastest. Here is Callum Thornley. He's sprinted his way towards the top of this climb. Thornley now looking for the fastest time, but it looks like it's going to go past. Thornley may well be out of the medals here. Nate Pringle has produced the ride of the day, the shock ride. Callum Thornley is running out of roads. A round of applause by Nate Pringle, but it's not going to beat him. Thornley 2nd fastest.
With 7 seconds back.
I think that's going to miss a medal. Callum Thornley, 2nd fastest time by what, 7.95 seconds. Only 8 riders left to finish. One of them is this rider, Maxime de Comble. He's about to hit that 3rd split of the day. He's about 100 metres away from it. Then we'll get an idea of whether that 100k an hour downhill is giving him the fastest time. The answer is no. Nate Pringle is the rider who is still the fastest at the 3rd split. 7.19 seconds is the difference. Well, de Comble was faster than Nate Pringle at the 1st split, and 5 seconds slower at the 2nd. He's now 7 seconds slower. Here's the arrival, the favourite though. Soderquist comes up to the 2nd split. He's the favourite, and he is by far the fastest rider on this course. Can Soderquist now deliver? 30 seconds faster at the 2nd intermediate split. Sweden are in the ascendancy. The arrival now of the youngster from Italy, Lorenzo Finn. This is a spectacular performance. He's sprinted his way up the final climb, chasing the time of Nate Pringle. Lorenzo Finn is 14 seconds from the finish line. Otherwise, Nate Pringle stays in the hot seat. Can this rider, who has been the Junior World Road Race champion, now go into the hot seat? It's going to be ever so close. Lorenzo Finn, no, it doesn't happen. Nate Pringle stays in the hot seat. 2nd fastest time for the Italian.
4 seconds back. So Pringle defends his leading position.
7 riders left to finish. Pringle is staying there. Here's the situation at the 2nd split. Soderquist, Pringle, de Comble and Finn. The current finish, Pringle of New Zealand leads, Finn of Italy in 2nd place, Thornley of Great Britain is in 3rd. De Comble, who's looking great out here on the course, making his way onto the cobbles. Jonas Walton, who was the rider who was in the hot seat for a little while, the son of Brian Walton. We all remember him from 7-Eleven. Just Just a reminder, the Tour of Langkawi starts on Sunday, and Brian Walton was a stage winner there many years ago. And hello to Jeff, thank you very much. He's the rider who is 2.1 kilometres from the finish line. This rider searching now for the possibility of a medal. He was a rider that people mentioned as one of the outsiders just by his recent performances. Second fastest at the third split. Pringle, De Combe, Finn as the top three there. Can this New Zealander hold on for a medal this afternoon? You can hear that bike just rumbling its way over the cobbles. Nate Pringle currently in that hot seat, grew up riding BMX in New Zealand. He's on that rookie squad with so many of these top riders now. Can he stay there in these medals this afternoon? This is Cole Kessler from the United States of America.
And the day is done. And position 7 right now on the result list.
Amashimwe kuri Cole Kessler umunyamerika rero usoje ku mwanya wa karindwi.
There's not many riders left to finish now, and this rider has been flying. Can he deliver every single corner perfectly? Pringle grew up riding for the Oxford Edge cycling team in New Zealand. Right now, I'm sure the New Zealand fans are on the edge of their seats. They know that Soderquist is going extremely fast. In the build-up to this race, everyone has mentioned that this... Nate Pringle on the right-hand side, watching intently.
Fantastic job. And now he just can sit.
I don't know if he can take too much more of this. All the fans are in front of him just watching him as he just sits there sweating and wondering whether he's going to win here in Kigali, because he rode the final climb superbly. 1 kilometre to go for De Combe, who was second at the third split, 7.19 seconds down. Can he have found a little bit more speed? Can he unseat the New Zealander? Nate Pringle is sitting there, and he's about to see the arrival of this next rider. This is Andrea Perikas, who's going to be outside the time as well. Only 5 riders remain after this one.
So first of all, the focus on.
It's going to be all about De Combe and about Soderquist now for the medals. The finish is Pringle, Finn, Thornley, Maxime De Combe.
Oh, what a Maxime De Combe!
Looking now for the finish line. Look at the pain etched on this rider's face. He knows he's got to give this everything if he wants to win the gold medal for France this afternoon. Has he managed to find more speed than Soderquist will find up this final mountain climb to the finish? Nate Pringle is watching. The time is running down. Pringle has a little smile on his face because he may well still hold on. This is going to be very, very close. Maxime De Combe sprinting for all he is worth. The time is counting down. Nate Pringle is still in the hot seat. He might do it. Wow, 0.17 of a second. I can't believe it. De Combe is just outside the New Zealander's time.
And second place.
Nate Pringle could be about to launch the biggest shock of these World Championships after yesterday's shock.
To T-Sox, our official timekeeper, You can see only
Wow.
0.17 seconds.
4 riders remain. This is the current situation at the third split. Soderquist has gone through 33 seconds faster than Nate Pringle of New Zealand. Maxime de Comble of France in third. Right now, it's Pringle, de Comble and 3 riders at the finish line. Soderquist pedalling flat out right now. New Zealand have never won this world title, neither have Sweden. New Zealand have got 1 bronze medal. Sweden have 1 silver medal. That's it. They've never won the title in the under-23 classification. There's a bit of a click going on with Jakob Soderquist's bike.
Half a minute faster than Nate Pringle.
You don't get any closer than that. 0.17 between the top 2 riders now. 47.425. Nate Pringle has ridden this final climb exceptionally. He's held speed all the way through. So it's New Zealand in gold, France in silver, Italy in bronze. .4 kilometres to go. Soderquist is at 33 minutes. He needs to get to the top in 39.28. Time to rumble his way over the cobbles. He'll make small work of this, I'm sure. He's a powerful rider who won't mind a cobbled section. Pulling himself right forward. This rider, 22 years of age. He'll move to Lidl Trek for next season. He's signed a 2-year contract with that squad. Already a stage winner in the Tour of Denmark, as we mentioned. A stage winner in the Giro Next Generation. Stage winner in Tour de Loire-et-Cher. Stage winner in the Tour of Britannia. 2nd overall in the European Championship. He's already won a silver medal here in the Under-23 World Championships behind Ivan Romeo. This rider is set for a big career. Matthias Schwarzbacher arrives here for Slovakia, number 4. He's 11th fastest, 46 kilometres an hour. Who's going to miss out on a medal? Soderquist continues with this momentum towards the top. 34 minutes. Comes up to 35. He's got 4.5 minutes to reach the finish line. He's got 1.9 kilometres to go. Now, in normal circumstances on the flat, you'd just say, yep, he's done it. But right now, you never know on this final climb because it's brutal. We've not seen much of Hamish Mackenzie this afternoon, the Australian who's been a bronze medalist before. Kind of fallen away. He's 10th fastest through the third split.
Of course, he not only has the physical power, for sure, the mental power.
Soderquist back into the aero skis. Here's the arrival of Verven, the Belgian rider, Jonathan Verven. He's going to be outside the time of the top 3.
Jonathan Verven. Belgium champion
into that aero tuck. Sprints for all he is worth. It's going to be a top 10 place, 7th overall.
29 seconds only off his top 10 right now.
Well, this championship held since 1996. The only person from Sweden who has finished with a medal is the rider we're looking at last year. Can he get them the gold medal now? There's a rider in front of him. Hamish Mackenzie is just up the road. That's how fast Soderquist is going. Nate Pringle has been the rider of the day. The cars pull over out of the way. Soderquist now has got the top of the climb. He reaches 37 minutes at 1K to go. It should be okay, but he's got to keep the pressure on. It's not over yet. The Swedish rider looking to deliver a gold medal here in these World Championships. Just in front of him is Hamish Mackenzie, not too far away. He's getting set for this final power climb. $500 meters to go. Surely this is going to be gold for the Swede. You just never know, though, because this final rise really kills the legs. Pringle's time, 39.28.39. He's still in the hot seat. No doubt he's going to get a medal for New Zealand. But is this going to be the fastest time of the day? Let's take a little look. Here's Hamish Mackenzie, who is just arriving in front of him. We'll give you an idea of the time. Mackenzie's going to be outside the top places. He's going to be 9th fastest, but just behind the fast-moving Swedish rider. Söderqvist is going to power his way to the finish. There's no doubt. Söderqvist is the world champion. Blitz is the time of Pringle. It is gold for Sweden. An exceptional performance by the favourites. Almost does a skid. So Söderqvist takes the gold. Stunning, stunning performance. Söderqvist wins for Sweden. Nate Pringle takes the silver for New Zealand. He is the surprise package of the day. And Maxime de Comble of France takes the bronze. A stunning performance by Jakob Söderqvist. What a ride. The margin of victory was large. Here's confirmation of the result then. Söderqvist wins by 1 minute and 3 seconds. Nate Pringle in second for New Zealand. Maxime de Comble of France in third place. There's the makeup of the top 10.
UCI World Championship. Twegere imbere kugira ngo twishimire umuhango wo gutanga imidari n'umwambaro ku watsindiye umudari wa zahabu.
While we get ready for the victory ceremony. Time to recover. We'll look out over Kigali as everybody gets ready for this presentation.
Reka mbasabe twese twegere imbere ya stage kugira ngo dukurikirane umuhango wo gutanga ibihembo. Abari inyuma ni karibu twegere imbere kugira ngo dukurikirane umuhango wo gutanga ibihembo kubitwaye neza muri individual time trial men under 23.
Jakob Söderqvist then getting himself ready for his interview and just recovering for a moment. The celebration. Top rider in the world. It's going to be interesting to hear from him. Söderqvist walking there, the walk of a winner.
Super. Nice to see you, Steve.
He walks with a swagger of a 100-meter runner, doesn't he?